Good morning, it's peak garden season, so there's a lot of work to do today. I am cutting back some plants and wanted to share the process. The majority of the plants are going to be salvias or catmints. The first group I have down here are catmints, and so I'll walk you through how I do that. This first one is a Nepeta, gray-green leaves, neon purple, and it's one bloom left. The rest of these have all bloomed out, and so I am going to just grab handfuls here and then take them back. To a more compact size, and this plant will shoot new bloom spikes and new blooms. In fact, you can see some of them starting to come and pop up. For sake of continuity, I will take it all down. That is what I've cut off. This next plant is, let's see if the tag's on here. That's not a goat's beard, not a lady's mantle. There's two plants here. I don't have the specific Nepeta on this one, but you can see that these have all bloomed out, and then some of these are still blooming. And I will do, actually this is a salvia. This is a salvia with two plants here, and it's starting to flop. It has bloomed out in this section, still blooming here, and so I will do a similar thing here and just take it back so that it can flush new growth and new blooms the rest of the season. I'm never too picky about how I cut these back. I just kind of cut them back to a point where they're a nice compact plant again. Probably should have brought a better snips. And that way the plant can get started on putting out new growth. This catmint is incredibly splayed out. There's two plants here, and honestly it could do with a bit of a split. So sometime in spring when we are in our rainy season again, I will go ahead and split this catmint into multiple pieces. But for now, I am going to take it back. There's brand new growth coming down here in the bottom. So I'm going to do the same thing I did on the last one. Just cut this back. Now this is more of a size control cut than a blooming cut, because this is still blooming a little bit, but this plant desperately needs to be split based upon the way that it's splaying down the ground and the new growth that I have down here. So I'm going to get this all cut back and it will be neat and tidy again. You don't have to cut these back, you could just let it go for the year. Cutting it back will allow you to get two sets of blooms out of one plant versus a singular set. Otherwise, that would be, one of the last blooms of the season. This way, you get another one. Gives you a good idea of how splayed out that plant was. I have a couple salvias up front that also need to be cut, and I will take care of those. These two salvias are the last ones to cut back, and I'll do the same thing. So the flowers have completely bloomed out here, and I will just take it back to about where it branches. So I don't know if I can see that. So it comes down to a first V here, and I will probably take it down to down in here. So that's, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches off the ground. And so I will do that for this entire plant and then that entire plant as well. So this is what that would look like. As you can see, I've brought it back to 8 to 10 inches above the ground for the majority of the canopy there. And at this time of the year, I do a chop and drop, which means that as I cut back the plant, I just leave what's left of it next to the plant. It's good for the soil. It feeds the soil as it breaks down, and it saves you time. So that's what that one looks like. And this one I still need to get to work on.